The thoughts, opinions, and general overall shade thrown on High at 9 News are those of the individual speakers and not those of High at 9 News, its audience, or its advertisers. The statements made do not constitute medical, legal, or financial advice, and for advice tailored to your specific situation, please consult with a licensed professional. Welcome to the High at 9 News Hour, where you will hear from cannabis industry experts and professionals from around the country talk about important topics while shining light on global issues and discussing cannabis as it relates to politics, regulation and reform, data and technology, science, research and medicine, family and parenting, art, celebrities and entertainment, fitness, sports, mental health and wellness, and plant-based medicines and entheogenics. Together, we are building a stronger community, fighting the stigma and creating change. With your hosts, Jason Beck and Rico Lamitte, joined by special industry expert correspondents from around the country, and daily antics brought to you by Cannabis. Coming to you live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and high noon on the East Coast. And thank you all for getting high at 9 with us. Yeah, you guys.
Been corrupt forever. It is what it is.
Good morning.
Hey, where's the link?
What? Just hold on a second, you guys. Good morning. It is Thursday, December 5th, and today is National Repeal Day. What do you think about that, Rico?
Y'all been trying to repeal shit since Obama's first term. I don't know, man. It's time to appeal, not repeal. How about that, Jason? How about that?
Repeal the CSA.
Repeal and replace. Repeal and replace. I'm all about it. It's also it's also National Sacher Torte Day.
What is that?
It's like a dessert. And I really wish Jenny Beth was going to be joining us today. It's too bad that she's super sick, so we hope that she does feel better. But today is also National Bathtub Party Day, you guys.
Bathtub Party Day.
Bathtub Party Day, exactly.
What's that all? Sound like Kevin Hart at Diddy's house. Huh?
Lots of suds, bro. Lots of suds, Mr. I'm Jason Beck.
Dealing and dealing.
Yeah, Mr. Bubble's got to be happy today, you guys.
Suds and subs.
Speaking of subs, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed already. We are just 53 subscribers away from hitting the 5,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. So please make sure, and also too, make sure that if you have a blue check on your X account, that you are making sure that you are following High at 9 News. We are trying to get to the monetization point on that platform as well, and we need 500 subscribers. With blue checks to follow us. We currently have just about 100, so we're not too far away, and we would appreciate people sharing us on X and all of that stuff, and all of the original articles we're going to be doing as original pieces on X also. So, but nonetheless, thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us. It's also high noon on the East Coast, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us on all social media platforms. You can look up above and down below to see exactly where we live on the internet, and we are live every Monday through Friday on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, X, Instagram, Facebook, and on our very own website at www.highat9news.com. So welcome to everyone joining us from any one of those platforms. And kicking it off today, we have the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte, the man who's all tan today. That's right. He's not just tan from sitting out in the sun. He's like Danny Tanner, because he is the dope dad himself. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte.
Jason, I appreciate it, man. Big shout out to Obama when he wore that tan suit. Remember when that was like the biggest controversy that came out of a presidential campaign? Remember that, Jason?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all fools still trying to repeal and replace.
Repeal and replace. Get them up out of there.
Yeah, just like black housing, right?
Everybody send your donation of cardboard boxes over to the White House and help these people get packing.
Yeah, gentrification has reached the White House. Y'all know it's anyways, My story comes from Green Market Report's John Schroyer's coverage of day 2 of the 13th annual MJ Biz Cannabis Conference, which wrapped yesterday in Las Vegas, Nevada. With Wednesday's programming heavily focused on social equity, a trio of Black cannabis entrepreneurs and social equity advocates highlighted the challenges of fundraising and the realities of raising capital panel. The featured panelists were Naomi Granger, CPA from National Association of Cannabis Accounting and Tax Professionals, Leonard GLC Harris, my homie, two-time Grammy-winning rapper and partner at Kranja Culture, brand here based in LA. And again in the news this week, Whitney Beatty, co-founder and CEO of Josephine and Billy's retail dispensary here in South Central Los Angeles. The panel went particularly deep on the risks of social equity applicants and licensees continue to face, including a glut of predatory investors offering exploitative funding deals with interest rates as high as 40%. Biggest points of advice they had for newer equity entrants in attendance included: A, scrutinizing contracts. Naomi Granger warned that some funding agreements include hidden clauses with serious legal risks. Being aware of risky investments, Whitney Beatty emphasized the personal and financial risks, citing her own experience with costly funding from family members and the downfall of major cannabis companies like MedMen and Herbal. Using expert support, the panelists stressed the importance of hiring competent attorneys and accountants to navigate contracts, licensing, and financial planning out funding stages. Granger recommended avoiding lump sum funding to delay accruing interest, very important there, opting instead for phased financial tied to operational needs. And finally, the importance of leveraging existing industry expertise. Beatty and GLC went really deep on this conversational track and advised recruiting team members, even if you're new to the game, but at least recruiting team members from an advisory position with cannabis industry experience and ensuring their fair negotiation of contracts. The overarching message was to approach fundraising cautiously, focusing on fair deals and strategic planning to avoid financial pitfalls. While I'm stoked to see MJ Biz elevating and amplifying 3 people that I have known for years in the industry, Naomi and Whitney, and beyond from the Shy, my man GLC, that's 24 years right there. I hate that the conference has gone 13 years now with social equity a constantly evolving yet still central issue since the first programming proposals in California 8 years ago. And the industry's biggest conference did not think until recently, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but maybe like the last year or so, to the best of my memory, to start making experienced social equity operators and their messaging its focal point.
There's experienced social equity operators.
People that have actually been operating.
Got it.
They have experience, so they can talk to people with actual experience nuance.
Interesting.
Okay, let me finish.
Sorry. I apologize.
I love that the folks that who have paid dues are now getting the spotlight that they deserve. And I know that hindsight is 2020, but maybe putting equity at the center back in 2018, 2019 would have spared plenty of folks in newer markets from falling into the same traps and falling into the same bullshit generational wealth pitch that we're still hearing today, while damn near all the folks in established markets got nothing but horror stories to tell at this point. But it is what it is. We are where we are. And I got nothing but love for the equity operators who have continued to fight uphill battles against all odds. I hope all the aspirational entrepreneurs in attendance were able to take home a few pages full of notes from the panel, because if nothing else, a great lesson in cautious optimism was delivered. And we all know that knowledge is half the battle. The other half is putting that shit to work. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on Street 4 High 9 News. I'll be here from the rest of y'all. Jason, you got some comments now instead of cutting me off?
I didn't really cut you off. I just interjected. I was a little confused. I was just trying to follow along with the story because as a lot of social equity applicants, I'd say a majority of social equity applicants never had business operations prior to becoming social equity winners. And so, I mean, are you aware of a number of social equity individuals that had businesses operational prior to becoming social equity verified?
Cannabis businesses or mainstream American
cannabis businesses specifically, but if you want to touch on other businesses, that's fine too. Because I'm sure that there's tons of people that are social equity applicants that had businesses prior that are normal businesses. I'm mainly those specifically referring to cannabis businesses.
Yes, I do.
Oh, how many? Names.
Good number.
You get how many names?
Like as in trapping or quasi legal?
No. I mean like a real business.
In the cannabis industry, like
in the cannabis industry, yes. In the cannabis industry prior, not trapping, not. Is
that a trick question?
No, it's not. No, it's a real question. It's a real question.
Most of the applicants that are happening, except for in California.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Except for in California.
So I don't understand where they're getting this past experience from. That's my point.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's no models out there for past experience in this industry. That's the problem.
I agree with that, Dale. That's my whole point. That's why I'm confused by what Rico is throwing out there as far as this past experience, where that shit's coming from.
Whitney I marched with Whitney in fucking 2016. What the
That's
fuck are
great. You finally named someone. Thank you.
For years.
Thank you.
Naomi
you finally named someone
in the industry for years.
Accountant in the industry doesn't count.
Chicago, and he's been running Cranja here in LA for years.
See, now that's a fair one. Look, you named 3 people. That's great. That's all I was asking for.
The people on this damn panel, Jason. What the fuck are you talking about?
Are you saying that I'm a social equity applicant? Because I definitely do qualify.
I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm just saying.
Anybody else got comments on this?
Yeah. Well, my experience is that most of the social equity people I've worked with don't have past cannabis industry experience because it's very hard to get into it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So to say, oh, my resume has all these things in it, it's just hard to find that. Most of the people that I've represented came at this because of the color of their skin, where they live, their criminal history, things like that. Mm-hmm. And no one was looking for experience. And in my experience with these people, that's a disaster. You've got to have people working with you at an equal level who know how to run a lean business, because that's one of the problems I've seen. People throw money at these things and waste a lot of money and don't really get anywhere. And I bring in an accountant and myself just from the gate. Mm-hmm. 280E is such a huge problem. You've got to put your business plan together with 280E right in front of you. Mm-hmm. And I typically set up business structures that move most of the money out of the plant touching business so that we can get the best we can out of it. But the funding that I've seen has more strings attached to it than Carter has little liver pills. I mean, you really got to go through that. And you got to read the fine print. And even then, I read the fine print from some fucking chads at Orange County, and they didn't tell me.
We love Orange County.
The corporation was never formally formed. They were still in the forming stage. They were running everything. No shareholder meetings. I told the local jurisdiction, oh, our social equity person's a 51% owner. They hadn't even issued fucking stock. It took me a while, and I got really, they don't like me anymore because I got kind of pissed. Also, the parent company. Fuck.
Oh man, the parent co. Yeah, the parent co.
They don't like me because I called their ass out and they hung up on me. And the next thing, the HR person's begging for, you got to talk to me. So I got all my team on there, and we basically got them to admit, well, everything we do is for the benefit of our shareholders. And if we do something that looks good for you, fine. Otherwise, no, we're a typical predatory corporation here.
They do everything for their shareholders. You hear that? I mean, I bet their shareholders are pretty pissed off, especially based off of yesterday's story.
The thing was, it was a SPAC, Jason. All the SPACs were, they were a blank check bullshit company. And it was crazy when all those SPACs were going down. All those deals were going down. Me, with my with my financial background, I was like, yo, this is going to end poorly.
Oh, I love the thing. And then
just like all these crypto pump and dumps that you love, Jason, they're all going to end very poorly. All of them.
And I love the post that Elliot, the CEO of Catalyst, put out yesterday, where he showed his prediction from the parent co a few years ago when they first came out with all their overpriced extraness and whatnot, and basically predicted their downfall 2 years prior, and got some vindication yesterday. It was fantastic to watch. I was definitely enjoying those social media posts.
Did anybody with any kind of, as you would say, Jason, business background, did anybody think that there were anything good was going to come from these SPACs? They were bad deals.
I thought lots of great things were going to come from SPACs.
Unregulated bullshit deals, like, oh yeah, here's
I
a
think
shell company.
I think a lot of
money as
things.
you want.
I think a lot of good things came from SPACs. You know why?
I think I'm saying long term.
Let me correct myself.
I think it gave a lot of people, like I said, like I brought up with the Barron Company and Whitney Beatty, who is in this story today too. It gave them a lifeline that nobody else was giving them.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, they would have gone.
I agree with that.
Black women do not get investor cash.
I agree with that.
Less than 0.2% goes to Black women, and they were not getting investor cash as much as she had done to promote their company, as much as she's done on the ancillary side. Was that what's that investor? Some of that's here every year, Jason. I don't know why I'm
Chad Zinga.
No, not Chad Zinga. The not Archipelago. It'll come to me. They're meeting at the in West Hollywood every year.
New West Summit
in Santa Monica.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not sure.
It's a bunch of Chads.
You may want to take some Prevage in there, Rico.
Yeah,
right.
We got to give him a shot.
It's a bunch of white dudes. Obviously, they're all they always met at the at Bungalow. You know where Bungalow?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a private members only club in West Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Right there on San Vicente.
I can't remember the fucking name. But anyways, Whitney Beatty, and then a couple of others. The Knox Doctors won their pitch a contest that they had. Knox Doctors won like twice. Whitney Beatty won like once.
You know what's funny?
Whatever. And like all these Black women would win these pitch contests and would get zero investments from it.
You know what's funny? You mentioned the Bungalow Club, Rico's, because I remember having a meeting.
I used to do some work over there.
Yeah, well, I remember having a meeting with Adam Levine of High Times over there a few times, and I just
was that pre High Times or post High Times?
It was post High Times. It was post High Times was up and operational and running and whatnot. It was right before they got the license for the OG Cannabis Cafe while they had it for a time period after COVID.
Like 2 months.
But Anna Lewis is correcting me in the chat. She says that post was from 2020, not from 2022. So stand corrected on that. The post was from 4 years ago. The prediction was from 4 years ago, not 2 years ago. So apologize for that, and weed for the people on that.
Yeah, it was right when COVID hit. SPACs just became a big thing. Web3 was a big thing. They were saying, "Oh, everything's gonna go into the metaverse." Blah 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 blah. And I remember fools were buying like real estate in the metaverse, like $400,000.
Yes.
Stupid. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think we should start calling it the X-verse because I think X is going to far surpass anything in the metaverse. What do you think about that,
Probably
Rico?
won't. I don't know, man. Elon Musk still ducking Mark Zuckerberg on that.
Hold on, did you see the face of? Did you see Mark Zuckerberg's face when he was sitting there at Mar-a-Lago? He looked like a little puppy with his tail between his legs, looking like Justin Trudeau.
Dude, he's an android. Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone.
Just saying.
He is AI. He is AI
bro.
personified.
Just saying.
And Elon Musk is scared shitless of him.
I don't believe that.
Fight him.
I don't believe
He will
that.
not fight him.
I don't believe that. Elon would put hands on Mark Zuckerberg.
That's kind of white on white crime I love. Let him fight.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can say that, bro, because Elon is African American.
He's still white.
Just saying.
And how to get there, Jason? How to get there?
Just saying, bro. Just saying.
Hey, how did his family get there?
I'm just saying, bro. Just saying. Just you know what I'm saying. And on that, we are going to roll into a commercial, and we are going to be right back. I just ordered the summertime strawberry salad when added steak on top here at Anna's. Make sure you do the same thing too next time you're in downtown Long Beach. Come on down and check out Anna's Joint on the 400 block of Pine Street. They have amazing selection of beers, foods, and when you come down here to Anna's, you can even challenge me to a game of shuffleboard if you want to lose. Get that? So, next time you're in downtown Long Beach on Pine Avenue, make sure you stop by Anna's Joint on the 400 block. Not only do they have Anna's Joint, this restaurant and bar, but they also have the amazing deli next door. And then next door to that, they have a very exotic flower shop. You may want to stop by and say hi. And we are back.
13. We are back like we left something, everybody. And up next is the High at 9 News head honcho known for smoking the best weed in the world. It is the cannabis industry's #1 right-wing apologist, Jason.
There's no need to apologize for truth and liberty, Rico. Just know that. Know that, Rico. Man, oh man, oh man. And man, do I have a story today for you, Rico. You ready for this?
What you got, brother? What you got?
Oh man, the Dog Father, he is back because Snoop Dogg opens online cannabis shops shipping direct to U.S. consumers. Sounds like we're gonna have to get some parody gummies on the shelf, on his online shelf.
It sounds like we got some competition out there, man.
That's right. Hip hop. I don't believe in competition because you can't compete with me, Rico. Hip hop icon and multi-talented entrepreneur Snoop Dogg on Wednesday opened an online shop selling cannabis flower, I guess it's THCA, and other hemp-derived products with shipment direct to U.S. consumers in more than a dozen states, including many that have not legalized adult-use marijuana. Also featuring lifestyle products including smoking accessories, premium tobacco cigars, and limited edition merchandise. The new direct-to-consumer marketplace, Swede.com, launched at 4:20 p.m. Eastern on December 4th, you guys. Look at that. Just so you know, that's 1:20 p.m. on the Pacific time. The launch of the new online shop follows the opening of Snoop Dogg's Swede cannabis dispensary in Los Angeles and so-called coffee shop in Amsterdam, where patrons are able to purchase small quantities of cannabis and other weed products. The initials Swede, S-W-E-D, stand for Smoke Weed Every Day, and Snoop Dogg's mantra that has grown into an international lifestyle brand. The online shop will feature a curated selection of authentic Snoop Dogg and Death Row Records branded hemp-derived cannabis products, including, that's right, you guys, everyone's favorite THCA flower that contains a non-psychoactive precursor to THC. When heated by smoking or vaping, however, THC is changed to THC, the cannabinoid most associated with the classic high achieved from smoking marijuana. Other products available now or in the coming weeks include rolling trays, cigars, tobacco blunt wraps, pipes, vaporizers, and other exclusive merchandise. All products except the THCA offerings can be shipped directly to consumers in the U.S., and THCA products cannot be shipped to Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Georgia, Idaho, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Nevada, Oregon, Rhode Island, and South Dakota, although the rest of the line is available to consumers in those states. And Swede.com is designed to deliver a complete lifestyle experience with products hand-selected by Snoop himself. Stop it. They're so full of this. The company wrote in a statement about the launch, in a quote, "From dog leaf natural tobacco leaf wraps to exclusive Death Row Records rolling trays and odor-proof backpacks." I thought it started to say odor booth backpacks for a second, but nonetheless. The site is a one-stop shop designed to offer a premium experience for collectors, connoisseurs, and everyday users alike. Although the initial selection of products is limited, more are expected to be added as they are personally approved by Snoop. Interesting. I'm not sure if Snoop is going to be smoking all this shit, but nonetheless. Swede.com will also serve as a directory for Swede's physical dispensaries, providing information for the Los Angeles and Amsterdam stores and additional coming locations in the future. Launch comes as hemp products face new regulations, and the launch of Snoop Dogg's new online store featuring hemp-derived THCA products comes as states including California, Illinois, and New Jersey are in the midst of efforts to tighten regulations on intoxicating hemp products. And in September, California Governor Gavin Newsom spearheaded emergency regulations to temporarily ban hemp products with any amount of THC, even though they have no enforcement except for local enforcement, but whatever. And despite these efforts to rein in hemp-derived cannabinoid products in these and other states, Snoop Dogg said that Swede.com is opening its virtual doors to consumers across the country. That's right. The Dogfather don't give a hell about your damn bans and whatnot. But in a quote, they say, "This plant is for the people. It's always been about unity. With Swede.com, I'm making sure no one gets left out, no matter what's happening with regulations around the country." So it sounds like Snoop's saying that they'll just ship to any state and they don't give a shit about whatever regulations you guys want to put out there, and weed for the people. But Snoop Dogg writes in an exclusive email statement, in a quote, "Everyone deserves access to what the plant has to offer, you guys." Oh, man. And Arturo Rodriguez of Swede, is the chief operating officer, said the new venture is a new facet of Snoop's ongoing cannabis advocacy that is debuting despite efforts to tighten hemp regulations, you guys. He says in a quote, "We're not just launching a site. We're fostering a movement. Swede.com is more than a place to shop. It's a hub for the community. Snoop has built over decades where cannabis and culture come together." And Rodriguez writes in an email, in a quote, an additional quote says, "Regardless of what's happening with hemp regulations, our mission is to give people a space to connect and celebrate all that this plant makes possible." Snoop Dogg noted in a press release that the launch of the new online shop comes just in time for the holiday shopping, you guys. That's right. You can get your Snoop on a shelf, and the holidays are all about sharing this year, they say. "I'm sharing access to Swede with the world," said Snoop Dogg. "Whether you're shopping in person or online for yourself or someone on your list, you'll find the same high-quality products I enjoy every day, no matter where you are," he says. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Does anyone really believe that Snoop Dogg is smoking this THCA? I'm not buying that today, but whatever. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
No fucking way is Snoop Dogg smoking that.
Bro, I bet you there's going to be some Delta 8 products for you, Stone, on this site.
Oh, Jason, I'm going to kill you, my friend. Just wait till I see you. I'm going to push you down. I'm going to trip you.
Everyone always wants to threaten the disabled. I don't even understand this. Everyone wants to beat up on the disabled.
You're not disabled if we're friends and you talk shit. You deserve to get pushed down.
Oh.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Listen, Snoop Dogg, one of the most marketable people out there. He's everywhere. No fucking way. He's smoking this. You know, on one hand, it's weed to the people. He's bringing weed to the people. But isn't it just ironic that this shit, this THCA, this one more outlet of boof flooding the nation. And it's ironic that this is all coming out everywhere, unregulated, untested, yet the real deal is being held down, and we can all have this inferior cannabis. How awesome. How fucking ironic.
Is it really inferior, Stone?
Well,
I mean,
yes.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Every day.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That was cute. That was cute, Rico. That was pretty timely.
You know what? It's your fault, Stone Slade. It's your fault. It's Texas's fault, because the opportunity in Texas for THCA and hemp derivatives is way too big. I had a call with the operator yesterday down in San Antonio. He said there are 7 dispensaries within walking distance from him.
They all sell booth.
All he said, got shelves full of every strain you can think of. All of it THCA.
I'm all about THCA all day. I mean, Dale, you're a lawyer. I mean, isn't that the best legal defense? If you get caught with weed, just tell them it's THCA.
Well,
all day, every day.
Make sure that's your story and you stick to it.
Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
At some point, they're going to make an example out of somebody. I mean, Tommy Chong went to prison because he sent some pipes into Pennsylvania where they
you beat me to it.
Yeah, but that was like 20 years ago, Dale. The world has evolved on cannabis since then.
That's when America was great, right, Jason? 20 years ago. We're trying to make it great again.
No, America was great like 40 years ago. Back in the 80s, it was great when Reagan was the president.
Snoop Dogg is the new Tommy Chong. You know what I'm saying? How's that for DEI?
I mean, Snoop Dogg could be the next Tommy Chong if they choose to make an example out of him, which I think he is definitely a potential target for that. For if they were to make an example, he would be the perfect person. I'm surprised. Gil doesn't have a. I'm surprised Gil doesn't have a cookie store. You know what I'm saying? Like online cookie store marketing and like that.
Maybe Joe Biden will will preemptively pardon Snoop before he bounces.
Oh, you know what? That's funny because one of my next stories has to do with Joe Biden's pardon. So that's coming up, and also too, Stone has a story coming up later today that's talking about the banning of THCA and whatnot. So you know what I'm saying? This is very timely with everything that we have going on today in the news.
It's all connected.
It's all connected, bro.
Look at that. Put the toothpaste back into the tube in Texas.
Man,
good luck with that.
Just gotta shove it in, Stone.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! We need some estrogen on the show today.
No, this is we're you know what I'm saying, we're gender exclusive show today. You know what I'm saying? No lady. Rochelle is out on the floor over at MJ Biz having meetings today, so she couldn't be with us. And Jenny Beth is sick as death today, so we hope that she feels better. And
Jenny Beth is Jenny Death.
Jenny Death. Oh man, that's
Jenny Death.
That'll make her better.
Man, oh man. Well, you know what?
It's halftime.
Now we're going to keep this train rolling. We are going to roll right into attorney at law, Mr. Dale Schafer. He's the founder of Armada Law, and one point in time did some time for a cannabis crime. He's also a superhero when he puts on his cape, when he gets up out of his lazy boy. That's right, and he can defy gravity by pissing up a rope. That's right, it is none other than attorney at law, Mr. Dale Schafer.
Morning, everybody. It's your favorite Tio Loco. Those on the East Coast. Snow's kind of a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
My story this morning is from MJ Biz Daily. It was written yesterday by Kate Lavin. It's posted up there. It's not real long, but it's pretty optimistic, which is, you know me, I'm the turd in the punch bowl. I read this thing as, everything's just so great in the future predictions. I thought, let's take a look at them. One of the first predictions is the rescheduling is going to happen. So all those people out there paying 70% effective taxes, you're going to get a 280E break. Okay? Might be true, but all those people out there smoking weed are not going to be able to go to a Schedule 3 pharmacy and buy weed. There's not a single product in the pharmacies that you smoke. So all of those out there like to smoke weed, you should not be celebrating Schedule 3. Also, if you're a social equity applicant, good luck. If they reschedule to Schedule 3 and you think that you're going to go in with your felony and I live in the bad part of town, or, I'm been stepped on traditionally, they don't give two shits. You're going to have to qualify for a Controlled Substances Act Schedule 3 license, and the playing field's going to be different. So I'm hard pressed to see how rescheduling is going to help this, but they're all on the bandwagon. Now we got to figure out how to deal with Schedule 3. And the answer is shit can it and get it out of the Controlled Substances Act. Just my position. I think it makes a lot more sense. Hey, got to say things positive when you're up there making predictions for the industry. That's one of the reasons they don't invite me to be on those stages and talk, because I'll tell you what I'm telling you right now. The industry's circling the drain. And the other prediction is for Ohio and Florida. They're going to do great. For Ohio, they're going to increase dispensaries and they're going to increase cultivation. And, I suspect that's going to be true. There's like 100 right now. Dispensaries are expecting 300 in the next couple of years. I think that's probably an accurate prediction. Problem is that they're arguing, you're going to see all these local jurisdictions around you that are doing this, get all this tax revenue. Let me just tell you, if you're counting your tax revenue at this point, you fell and bumped your head, because ain't nobody getting this tax revenue. They've been promising that since the beginning here. And in California, the CDTFA, our tax people, are going out there at gunpoint taking your cash because they're not getting their money for taxes. So you think that you're going to do anything because your neighbor county is getting increased tax revenue, you're smoking crack. And in Florida, their prediction is they're going to make a big comeback after losing their initiative. And I guess you can say that if you're positive about everything in life. But if you're a realist like me, The answer is Florida is going to be the apple cart turned upside down here for a while. Trulieve is a target there. They think they're making a monopoly. And to think that this is all just going to be good after all the shenanigans pulled to defeat this initiative, I'm just not that optimistic to Florida. Florida's a big market, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of medical patients there. But if given the choice to be recreational, they wouldn't have so many medical patients. It's just my experience out of California, other places where they go rec and who wants to jump through the hoops to be medical. Now, the other thing is consumption lounges. This one I'm actually optimistic about. My son owns a music production facility, part owner of a music store. A lot of artists out there looking for new places to go drag their voices out, their bands and things like that. So if we can actually get these lounges up, we can have live entertainment, have some food there, I think that's a great thing. Outside the state of California, I think it's pretty workable. Inside the state of California, penchant to over-regulate the shit out of these industries scares me. I've got clients that have rooms set aside. They got the retail license. They got a room set aside to do a lounge. Now we're waiting for the draconian regulations. How many cubic feet per minute of air you got to run through carbon filters? All this other kind of nonsense that they're going to make you do here. I would like to see, like the Republicans are arguing right now, let's have targeted regulations, fewer regulations, over more regulations. And let's see if we can streamline these processes so you can actually get up, run a lounge. People want to come smoke a joint, listen to some good music, and not have to jump through all these hoops. I'm not as optimistic, I guess, as people want to be in this industry right now. A buddy of mine, Grant Palmer, who owns Canna Cruise, is sending me messages and other things out of the floor of BizCon. Funding is basically dried up. Okay? And with the first story that if you want funding here, they're very selective and it comes with a lot of strings. So be very careful accepting money from people you meet at a place like this. And they're selling like $270,000 machines to twist off your pre-roll. And it's like, okay, well, how about you hire some human beings that can, fill your cones and twist them?
Oh boy.
And maybe it's just me, but trying to make everything here a machine rather than a human being. In California, we have HR problems here. The employment laws here in California make it very difficult to have a lot of employees without somebody getting pissed off and suing you for something. I can see why you want to have a machine, because the machine don't sue you. When it breaks, you fix it.
And they're never late. They're never late either, Dale.
I get it. But the cost of these machines,
they can get financing. They can get financing for these machines.
I'm sure they do. But at some point, you still got to pay the bills. If you ain't making no money, you ain't servicing no loans. That's sort of the problem that we see in this industry right now. People will give you money, but you got to read the fine print. And for my advice for people investing in this industry, get a good team to scratch and sniff and do a lot of due diligence. Make sure you know who you're putting your money in. Anyway, that's my story. I'm not quite as glowing out of MJ BizCon. Last time I was there, we just rented a couple suites in one of the hotels. We met people there. Didn't even go to the floor.
That's the right way to do it.
That's just me. I mean, as an attorney, I'm not going to go there and people trying to sell me shit. I'm going to sit down and meet with the owners of businesses and see if we can figure out how to work together. Anyway, that's my take on this morning. Throw it back at you guys. What do you think?
Well,
hey, Dale, I think.
Oh, go ahead, Rico. Go ahead.
All right. I think you're spot on. Almost everything you said there, Dale. I had a couple of points here on your story, but Florida, I'm just very intrigued with the Florida market. Even with that failed attempt, like you said, it's on Trulieve and everything. I've heard nothing but good things from the folks that I know that have gone out there to operate. Several that have been operating out here in California and are operating on the medical side over there. They just said it's a great place to do business. Period. This is a great business environment, and the fact that if that
it's
number
a right to work state,
if that number is true, that they're third in revenue behind California and Michigan, that's crazy. coming from a medical only market.
Well, hold on a second. Everything was better under medical, and I actually saw a X post yesterday where someone was referring to the fact that the average basket size in Pennsylvania in their medical market is like $130. To which I responded, I was like, yeah, as soon as they get adult use over there, that is going to drop by at least 75% their average basket size. So enjoy it while it lasts, and be careful, Florida, because be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty bearish on the consumption lounge thing. I feel like consumption lounge is a close second loser next to social equity. Everybody's been talking about it. Every time we see it implemented, it's a failed.
It's basically a restaurant with smoking. Right, that's basically what it is. It's a restaurant with smoking.
We've not seen it successfully implemented anywhere yet.
Well, the OG Cannabis Cafe in West Hollywood, they're a standalone consumption lounge without retail, and so and they do a pretty good job over there. I must say. Okay. Yeah. So
noted. Yeah. The one thing I would have added to my forecast is Trump administration coming in.
Can't wait.
I think we're going to see legalization in some form.
Yes, we will.
Schedule 3 or whatever.
Not Schedule 3.
Republicans.
No way.
I think we're going to see
Schedule 3 is dead.
The death. I think we're going to see the death of social equity as we know it. Period. I don't.
You will see the death. I don't see it
going forward.
You will see the death of that.
Like Dale said.
You will see the death of it if it goes to Schedule 3, just like as Dale pointed out. You will see the death of it for sure, because that'll be like a wooden stake in the heart of a vampire, and just all of a sudden it's going to explode and everything, like on True Blood. But I'll tell you what. For anyone that is in need of capital for their cannabis businesses, reach out to me. I have people that I can put you in that will give you business loans, and if you are also in the midst of doing a capital raise for $1 million or more within your cannabis business, I can definitely help you and put you in touch with some individuals that can definitely get you the capital that you need, especially if you have actual sales and revenue coming into your business. I can definitely help you out a lot with that. So make
40%?
sure
40% rates. 40% rates?
No, they're actually good rates, Rico. They're actually good rates, and if you want to inquire more, we can talk offline and all of that. But definitely reach out to me. All of my contact information is in the description of this video, as well as Rico's as well. So make sure that you reach out if you're looking for capital.
Yeah, we can actually plug you in with real people. I can't guarantee you're going to get anything because we don't know your background.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. We
do have connects.
Until we run the fork over your business, and see what's underneath all these different layers and whatnot. But we definitely can help if you're a viable business. We have some of the people that I work with have raised over $200 million for the cannabis space, for cannabis businesses and whatnot. Have built a number of facilities throughout the country, so we can definitely help. Stone, what do you have to say about all this optimism going on at MJ Biz?
I don't know.
Opium.
I was interested to see more about what you thought about the Schedule 3. They're thinking it's going to go through, but I don't.
These people are dreamers, bro. These people are dreamers. They just want you to sing "Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love."
Sing it for you.
Yeah. See?
Come on with it, Stone Slade.
No. Let's move on.
You want to move on? Oh man, Stone doesn't want to perform today. Son of a biscuit. Oh,
maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe we'll do a special video for our Patreon subscribers or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Of Stone swinging his tang.
I'm gonna keep my shield up.
Yeah.
Swinging. But Stone, so you are bullish on Schedule. Do you think that's gonna happen soon?
He's a dreamer, bro.
I don't know. I was just listening to what Dale said. Somebody predicted it, so I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think it's going to happen myself, but
I got a prediction.
I hope it doesn't happen.
I got a prediction for you, Stone.
All we can do is hope for the best, right?
I got a prediction for you, Stone.
What's up?
At some hospital somewhere in America, a baby will be born today. That's a prediction.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, that's basically the same type of thing. These people, well, Schedule 3 is going to happen. Da, 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 da. These people that speak from their head out of their ass. But nonetheless, we're going to roll into our next commercial, and we are going to be right back. Are you a business that's suffering from the hyperinflation that is plaguing America today? We have the solution for you. That's right. Patriot Business Financing. Head on over to www.patriotbfc.com and apply for a loan up to $2 million. Any state, any industry, even the cannabis industry, the CBD industry, as well as the industrial hemp fiber industry, secure up to $2 million today. And make sure that when you apply, you tell Paul you said hi from High at 9.
Jobs.
Oh, we're back. We're back like Jobs coming back to America. That's right. That's
back
right.
like Black Jobs.
Yes. So stop whatever you're
Like
doing. Yes,
You
exactly.
can't define it, but you know it when you see it, right?
That's right. Make sure that you stop whatever you're doing. Make sure you smash that like button. I know you'll appreciate it. We'll appreciate it, and YouTube will appreciate it. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Here on YouTube, we are just 53 or so subscribers away from hitting the 5,000 subscriber mark. And also, too, make sure that you are following us on X, because we are trying to blow up our X platform as well. Especially if you have a blue check, we would super appreciate it. We need to get to 500 subscribers with blue checks on our page, so we can get that page monetized. So we would appreciate any help that you can do by sharing it and whatnot, sharing this episode. We are trying to do a hard press on X, and all of the articles that we cover on today's show you can read directly on our website at www.highat9news.com. And all of our original pieces are going to live on X too. So Stone's original piece coming up next is going to live exactly on X as well as on our website. So here we go, you guys.
Stone is all about slanging, original pieces.
Is that?
Yeah, I love a good original piece.
I see what you did there. That was cute. Are you all ready for America's new #1 D9 gummy line? That's right, we are bringing to you Parody Gummy. These vegan gummies are manufactured in a safe harbor facility, so you know they're gonna be clean and safe, and they're not gonna give you any of the runaround. Coming in, we have 3 amazing flavors for you. We have the Raspberry Riots. Also, we have the Sleepy Joes if you need something to help you sleep at night. And if you're feeling like raging and having a party time, that's right, we have the Pineapple Bad Hombre. If you're feeling like a bad hombre, make sure you head over to www.parodygummy.com and secure your bag today. Yes, and we are back, and there's a big old super chat. All right, thank you so much, Troy Lawrence, who says, add Bud Bar to lounge and open the market. Real co-ops for local growers, lounge, and stop limited to privileged dispensary owners only, you guys. Shout out to Troy, man. Open up the market. I'm with you, Troy. Open up the market and let people get some bread. Not mad at that.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, our next correspondent is coming straight out of Jason Beck's very favorite acronym.
It's not ATX. An acronym. It's not even. It's a stupid ass name.
The ATX?
Yeah, the ATX. It's fucking stupid. For people that can't spell or read, his name is Austin.
Whoa. Says Mr. Weho. Come on now.
When you say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not looking at his face from where, but I'm sure his butt's buckering up. ATX. Oh my God, what do you guess?
Right?
Texas.
Straight on the ATX. Once upon a time.
Oh yeah, I'm going to TX today. Yeah, I got a flight to TX.
Low life
say that shit.
Republican scum out there in the outskirts of ATX, but hitting the low notes, but he hit the high road, and now he's delivering another Thirsty Thursday story for all y'all stay-at-home moms out there.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the stage is none other than the Stone Slade.
Mm-hmm.
Slang that original.
All right. Everybody, we're going to keep this right here in the ATX. Jason is here where Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is causing chaos. Let's talk about Texas, shall we? The land of wide open spaces and even wider gaps in logic when it comes to cannabis. This week, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick announced that he's pushing a legislative initiative to ban all THC in Texas. Yes, all THC, because apparently nothing says public servant like deciding the citizens of your state are too irresponsible to handle a plant while also ignoring the will of over 60% of Texans who support legalization. Dan Patrick is throwing his weight behind Senate Bill 3, which aims to outlaw every form of psychoactive THC. This crusade comes in response to the 2019 law that allowed for hemp products containing less than 0.3% Delta-9 THC. That law was a reasonable attempt to distinguish hemp from cannabis, but according to Dan, retailers have turned it into a loophole big enough to drive a combine harvester through. Patrick is especially miffed about Delta-8 THC, a hemp-derived cannabinoid that's gained popularity in Texas. It's legal under federal law and just as psychoactive as the Delta-9 THC in cannabis, but less safe due to the lack of regulations. The irony is glaring. They legalized hemp-derived Delta-8 while keeping cannabis illegal, proving how misguided their priorities are. If this really was about public safety, why allow Texans to legally buy an inferior cannabis product that could potentially be full of harmful chemicals instead of embracing the safety that full legalization would bring? According to Patrick, stores selling Delta-8 and similar products are targeting Texas children. It's always about what about the kids and exposing them to life-threatening amounts of THC. Life-threatening, really? Unless your kids are out there eating THC by the pound, which, spoiler, they're not, it's hard to see the threat, especially considering that there have been exactly 0 cannabis-related deaths reported in the 10,000 plus years that humans have been using it. Oh, but Dan's not alone in his Reefer Madness revival tour. Let's not forget about his prohibitionist brother-in-arms, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who is busy suing cities across the state for decriminalizing cannabis. Paxton and Patrick seem to be in a competition to see who can be the most out of touch with reality, or at least with their constituents. While Ken wastes taxpayer dollars fighting cities that want to stop arresting people for a plant, Dan is doing his best to turn the clock back to the 1950s, making America great, Jason. Patrick, talking point sounds like they were ripped straight from a 1980s DARE pamphlet. He claims that these hemp products are more dangerous than the cannabis you'd find from a drug dealer, with some beverages supposedly containing 3 to 4 times the THC content of street cannabis. First of all, Dan, you seem oddly familiar with the inventory of drug dealers. Second, there's a little thing called lab testing. If you're so worried about unregulated products, why not embrace legalization and regulate the market? It gets better or worse depending on how much faith you have left in Texas politics. Patrick is confident his bill will have broad bipartisan support in the Senate and is already urging the House to follow suit. But here's the thing. Texas lawmakers have tried and failed to ban Delta-8 THC before. House Bill 2593 and House Bill 3948 both fizzled out in previous legislative sessions. Even the Texas Department of State and Health Services, DSHS, seemed confused about Delta-8's legal status, at one point claiming that it was already a Schedule I drug. The truth is, Dan Patrick and Ken Paxton are trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. Texans aren't clamoring for more prohibition. They're calling for more freedom. Polls show a majority of Texans support legalizing cannabis outright, and cities across the state have taken the steps to decriminalize it. Meanwhile, these two are trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube by doubling down on policies that belong in the last century. It's ironic, isn't it? Texas prides itself as a state of rugged individualism and personal responsibility. Yet when it comes to cannabis, the folks in charge think you can't be trusted to make your own decisions. So while Dan Patrick and Ken Paxton fight to keep Texans in the dark ages of cannabis policy, the rest of the country moves forward. At some point, you have to wonder, who exactly are they trying to protect? Texans or their own political careers? I'm Stone Slade, reporting for the High at 9 News.
Yeehaw, Stone, yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
There we go. There we go. We got some Texas out of them.
Is that what is it? Lieutenant Dan?
You guys shit-kicking boots on.
Dan, okay. Paxton reminds me of Dan Lundgren back in the 1990s. And the initiative went through 215 and just smoked and kicked his ass to the curb. I'm hoping that Texas wakes up and does something like that. I don't know what your initiative process is there, how hard it is. Some of the stuff.
It's all through the legislature out there, Dale.
It is.
It's all through the legislature.
Very frustrating.
Bad.
Yeah, no, people need to vote this guy out of office. Someone needs to primary this guy, because we know no Democrat's going to be able to take that seat. So we need to have some strong Republican come in and primary his ass and get him the hell out of there.
Didn't he just win? Didn't he just win, Stone?
He did just win, but like Jason's right. I don't. A Democrat's going to have a hard time unseating the guy. He needs to come from.
We got to primary his ass.
Republican in a primary.
Yeah, we got to primary his ass.
On a positive note, all these Californians, all 250,000 Californians that left to Texas last year. You know what I'm saying? I think it's purpling.
It's definitely not. No, let me tell you something. People aren't going to leave California and start voting for these dumbass, woke-ass policies of why they left California. That's just half-ass backwards right there, Rico.
Ted Cruz won by like 3 votes, bro. He won by like 3 votes.
I'm not buying the 3 votes. That's fucking bullshit.
It was close. It was close.
It may have been close, but it's not coming. 3 votes close. Stop the ridiculousness, Rico. Stop.
It's his electric personality, you know. He's just such a great guy.
I mean, Ted Cruz is a great guy. I stand up for Ted Cruz. He's a strict constitutionalist.
100%. Ted Cruz lives on his knees. He looks like
not to mention Ted Cruz.
They got snowstorms in your state. You end up in Cancun. Nobody got no power, and you're over there bitching and being a Karen at the check-in table, man. Get out of here, Ted Cruz.
Shout out to Brian Drombrowski in the chat, who says, we left California for a reason. Texas is red. Exactly. And that, the best part about being in Austin, Stone. That's right. You're surrounded by Texas. Exactly. Yeah, surrounded by Texas. That's right.
You know what?
Houston, though, bro.
So I've been doing my own research, because California is the ROI ain't what it used to be. It's leave it at that. And I was very, very, very surprised to see Dallas down there, Stone. Yeah, Dallas is a big haven for a lot of liberals from California. They're going to Dallas and Austin, Houston, and Dallas.
Yeah, and shout out to all of our viewers in Houston and Dallas, because those are some of our top cities on our stats on our channel of people that watch. So shout out to everybody watching from those.
They're getting increasingly blue. Isn't that?
No, they're not. They're red. They're red. They're super red.
Increasingly
they're fire red.
The big cities are pretty blue, and it's the rural areas that carry the state.
Can't wait till that's happening here in California, till we get all these unions out of the way.
Well, do you think with all the liberals leaving California, do you think all the Texans are going to move to California from Texas?
That would be a good switcheroo. That would be a good switcheroo right there.
No, Texans don't leave Texas.
I would trade all these woke ass Californians for some strong Texas conservatives all day.
We produce more oil than Texas, don't we?
Cannabis wise, we do.
No. I think like the state of California actually does. They don't want to talk about it because Gavin Newsom don't want to talk about no real shit. But I think California actually even produces more oil out here than Texas. We got more aliens out here though.
Yeah, and shout out to Steve Blessingham in the chat, who says, "Make California great again." I couldn't agree with you more, Steve.
When was California great? When was California great last?
Last time California was great was when we had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the governor, and before that it was when we had Ronald Reagan as the governor.
Yeah, shout out to the anti-Trump coalition led by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, I like Governor Moonbeam myself. He and Linda Ronstadt were just the best thing that ever came to Sacramento.
Yeah, but Jerry Brown was a little wokey too, though, bro. He was pretty wokey.
I came on the tail. I came on the tail end of the Brown administration here, so I don't really have much to say good or bad about Jerry Brown.
I have so many jokes for this one right now, Rico. You coming in on the tail end of the Brown.
Hey, he did me a solid.
He did you a solid, Brown?
When I got a Brown solid,
it wasn't running.
When I got convicted, Jerry Brown was the attorney general. We all took a real close look and said, I don't see any moral turpitude here. I'm going to let you keep your law license. So I got to give him a shout out for that. We didn't want to talk about how much weed he might have smoked with the Eagles or anything like that, but he let me keep my law license after what the feds did to me. So shout out to him for at least that much.
That's fair. I'm all good with I'm all good with that, Dale. And shout out to Peter Birdsall, who says San Fran has got a lot of poop in the streets and piss.
Do they still?
Yeah, they do. They do. They got
I
a lot
thought
of it.
I thought Gavin cleaned that up for.
He only cleaned it up. He only cleaned it up when China came, and that was only in just one little section that Xi Jinping was circling around and whatnot. It wasn't like the whole city. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when the Olympics came to LA. You know what I mean? Like they moved all the homeless people out of just one particular area and one particular driving route. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of thing.
He did bring back retail theft felonies, right? You know, this is progress.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
The
voters did that.
Gavin made crime gate again.
There was a message to California. Listen, lock those little fucking thieves up. We're tired of this shit.
Yep. And on that, we are going to roll into our last commercial, and we're going to be right back. Policies, bro. It's because of woke ass policies.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, it's all these environmentalists that all want to
Louisiana and Texas are always going to have cheaper gas than anywhere else in the U.S. So
I mean, California should have the cheapest gas because we pump so much of it. Texas should have the cheapest gas too. You know what I mean? We should.
Gavin Newsom puts all that oil in his hair.
All this extra refinement that's totally unnecessary because all these environmentalist wokies. But whatever. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm okay with being rough around the edges, man. We don't need more refinement.
Speaking of rough around the edges, Rico, you're gonna love this story, you guys. I found this in Politico. Natalie Fertag did this, so shout out to Natalie. She says, Biden's next pardons, you guys. That's right. All I can say is pardon me for this story, you guys, because after Hunter, 11 days before President Biden shocked D.C., he didn't shock D.C., everyone was expecting that, by pardoning his son Hunter, a group of lawmakers and advocates gathered outside of the Capitol building to urge Biden to grant a different set of clemencies. Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, and Anna Presley, Democrat from Massachusetts, and a handful of others urged the president to use his power to pardon or grant clemency to thousands of people serving time in federal prison for convictions related to nonviolent nonviolent marijuana use, crack cocaine, and more. Of course, we want to let all the crack cocaine heads out. Of course, and that's why Hunter Biden got his pardon. In a quote, they say, "We join a growing chorus of voices calling on President Biden to exercise one of the most profound powers of the presidential office, the power of clemency," Omar said at the presser. But it's not quite clear how far Biden is willing to go in that direction beyond the blanket pardon to his son. That's right, it must have been a fleece blanket. And the White House has signaled there that there will be more clemencies. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said on Monday that Americans, in quotes, could expect more announcements, more pardons, clemency at the end of his term. But the administration hasn't indicated how broad those might be, because word on the streets from what I'm hearing is going to be just for people like shifty pencil neck Adam Schiff and others, but nonetheless, or if individuals convicted of nonviolent drug crimes are a serious part of their consideration, you guys. More than 3,000 people, advocates say, then remain in federal prison for marijuana-related crimes. In Popular Democracy, one of the advocacy organizations involved in the November 20 press conference, says there are over 10,000 pending clemency petitions they believe the president should pardon or commute. The chorus of Capitol Hill voices pushing for these commutations also includes Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, who led a letter in late November signed by 13 other Democrats in the Senate and the House. In a quote, President Biden should expand clemency for people with marijuana-related convictions, Warren said in a statement. In a quote, there's more the administration can do before the end of the term to reform our system and right these wrongs. I agree with her on that. Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley added in a quote that says, it makes absolutely no sense not to act on nonviolent offenses that are in many places no longer offenses today. When asked if Biden should act on this before his term is over, the Oregon senator who did not sign Warren's letter gave an unequivocal yes. The irony of Hunter Biden's pardon is that one of the crimes he was convicted of is drug-related crimes. That's right. He lied about his drug use on a federal form to purchase a gun. Popular Democracy co-executive director Ilya Mejia says it presents an opportunity to argue for more clemencies. In a quote, the moment we saw the Hunter Biden pardon, we viewed it as the tip of the iceberg, Mejia said. These are all the tens of thousands of people that Joe Biden must extend the same clemency, the same consideration, the same justice as he purports to do for his son. But you know he's not going to do that, you guys. But nonetheless, article continues. As Biden's term nears its end, the clemency requests are pouring in, and advocacy organizations like FWD.US and Popular Democracy are requesting pardons or clemencies for individuals serving sentences that would not be given today because laws have changed for people who are chronically ill or who were incarcerated as children and people on death row. In a quote, the shorthand for this is people who are serving disproportionately long sentences. FWD.US Executive Director Zoe Town said, pointing out that 1 in 8 people serving time in prison are serving it in federal system. And in a quote says, it's a very large prison system. It has very long sentences, and the sentences are handed down with quite a fair amount of racial disparity. Politico reported today that Biden is considering preemptive pardons for one class of individuals, those whom he believes could be targeted by the Trump administration, including Senator-elect Pencil Neck Adam Schiff and former Representative Liz Cheney, the crazy rhino, and of course, the doctor of death, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Biden's administration has so far granted only 26 pardons, including his son, and fewer than were issued by any president in the last 100 years, though he's made it possible for many nonviolent drug offenders to apply for clemency, even though they were never incarcerated, but whatever. In a quote, I was surprised at his actions, Mejia said regarding the Hunter pardon, in a quote, but I'm also hopeful that it means that he will take further action to again correct the wrongs, to correct his tarnished legacy, to take action in alignment with his words. Well, we all know he's not going to do that because he's a half-stepper and whatnot. But nonetheless, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
You know what? I don't know why you, yes, Jason, you Republicans, not just conservatives, Republicans are all up in arms about Joe Biden doing exactly what Trump says that he's going to do. You know, like I got no horse in this race, as always. I talk shit about both of these dumbass parties, but get all butthurt when he starts swinging around that presidential dick that y'all gave Trump. Yeah, your Supreme Court gave him king power, and guess what? Joe Biden can be as much of a king dictator as he wants to before he gets out of office. He can do what the fuck he wants.
I'm surprised you're taking that position, Rico, Mr. Tear Down the System.
No, it's going to tear itself down now. I mean, nobody has to like it. The match has been lit.
Can't wait for Doge. I can't wait for Doge to kick in.
Yeah, Rome is crumbling, and that proverbial straw man argument that the conservatives of past used to always use. You know, it's a slippery slope. This shit is slippery as hell now, and the motherfuckers is falling.
It's all greased up. It's like an oil wrestling match.
All them years.
First one to do this. First one to do this was Gerald Ford. He gave Richard Nixon that I'm going to pardon you for everything you might have done. So let's not forget where this got started. And I don't expect Biden to do shit. This guy don't know what to do with drugs. He's got a kid who's an addict, which is bad as Nancy Reagan having a dad who's an alcoholic. You're in the corner, it's all bad until, oh, it's my kid. Oh, shit, now I got to, it hit home. You got a, cocaine addict for a kid who's, run off the rails a couple of times here.
Oh, I see what you did there, Dale, running off the rails. That was cute. That was cute. The rails of coke. Rails of crack cocaine.
Wait.
Yeah. That was a good pun right there.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's a list I can put my name on, I'd like a pardon. Because I was prosecuted for political bullshit.
I agree, Dale.
I'd like to be there. Obama wouldn't even give me the time of day. I tried to get clemency when I was in prison, wouldn't get the time of day. So maybe somebody will take a look at those of us who've already served our time. We didn't get, Lori Loughlin time. I got a 5 piece. I was in prison with guys doing 10, 20, 25 pieces. Okay. It ruins your fucking life. Okay. And for me, I don't have a problem telling people, I'm a convicted drug felon. I grew some weed. The average person, isn't in a position to do that. Can't get housing. Jobs are a problem for you. Any kind of government grants and loans and things like that. You're really behind the 8 ball. And for those of us who did things in the day that today we'd be given a license to do, it's time to undo some of that shit.
I totally agree with you on this, Dale, and I hope that you would get something like this. But I imagine you were not going to get anything like this until Trump takes office.
Just remember, be in Trump's ear. This crazy old motherfucker named Schafer, he wants a pardon.
Don't worry, trust me. I'm advocate hard for you on that one, Dale, without a doubt. You know what Biden should do?
All you gotta do is pretend to like him. He'll give you whatever you want.
You know what Biden should do? All right, this would be the ultimate power play if Biden could do this. If Biden pardoned all the J6ers.
You mean January 6th insurrection?
If he pardoned all those people, that would be the ultimate move. If he could pull that one off, but he won't.
I love
He's not going to pull it.
I'll just try to rebrand an insurrection J6.
This wasn't
January 6th.
It wasn't an insurrection, bro. It was
a day of love.
It was a total setup.
A day of love
by the FBI, CIA, and all of that. 100%.
You're being ridiculous.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all, Stone. I'll show you some videos I got, bro. You'll be like, holy shit.
Right off of X.
You can't fault the guy for pardoning his son. We all knew it was coming, and you're being hypocritical.
We did know it was coming, but he's being hypocritical.
The pardons that Trump gave, like to Jared Kushner's father. But I will say this: the optics.
Hold on, the French ambassador.
Hold on a second. You don't remember? You don't remember all these people saying how if Trump was to pardon his son, how it would be just the epitome of injustice in America and and all of this.
He pardoned his father-in-law. I mean, listen.
He didn't pardon his son.
You can't fault the guy for pardoning his son. I think any of us would have done it.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
You come off like an elitist prick when you pardon your son.
He is an elitist prick.
All these cannabis people in jail.
Hold on.
What he should have done is freed those people first or freed them together. It should have been more than just his son, because that's, like I said, that makes him look like an elitist prick.
You don't remember when they were passing the 94 crime bill? He's standing in the floor of the Senate holding up a quarter and saying how people that get caught with crack cocaine, any amount larger than the size of this quarter, are going to be going to jail for life in prison. All right. And then if you look at how much crack cocaine Hunter had on that scale in the video that everyone saw on the internet, I mean, that's way bigger than a quarter. Like that's like almost a full dollar's worth of crack cocaine.
Shows how smart that Hunter Biden is, because he took that little bit of crack rock and he turned it into.
Did he whitewash the crack rock, Rico?
That's the Biden economy. That's inflation right there, Jay.
He whitewashed the crack rock. Holy shit.
Also, back then you'd be doing a lot more time for cannabis too. The times have changed.
Right.
Oh, so you're saying I know, because no one.
I got to bounce in a second, Jason.
I do have one last story, and this story original piece from our good friend Cole of the Cole Memo, you guys, and so this originated on his side, and this is his work. And then this is breaking news, you guys, coming out of Illinois, you know what I'm saying, where they like to make some noise and like loud weed, especially at city hall meetings when they're all wearing red, Rico. But nonetheless, Illinois Supreme Court upholds order-proof cannabis container law, you guys. That's right. As predicted on the Cole memo, the Illinois Supreme Court has delivered a pivotal decision affirming that the state's odor-proof container requirement for cannabis remains enforceable, you guys, solidifying its status as the law of the land in People versus Vincent Molina, 2024 Illinois case 129237, issued on December 5th, 2024. The court ruled that the smell of raw cannabis alone provides police officers with probable cause to conduct warrantless vehicle searches, provided the officer is trained to distinguish between raw and burnt cannabis odors, you guys. Oh, man. So you can get jacked for raw cannabis, but not burnt cannabis. But, man, we're going to continue on. The Illinois Supreme Court stated in its opinion in a quote, "In sum, we hold that the odor of raw cannabis coming from a vehicle being operated on an Illinois highway alone is sufficient to provide police officers who are trained and experienced in distinguishing between burnt and raw cannabis with probable cause to perform a warrantless search of a vehicle." In other words, an officer trained and experienced in distinguishing between burnt and raw cannabis who smells the odor of raw cannabis in a vehicle stopped on the highway would logically suspect that there is cannabis in the vehicle that is not properly contained as required by the vehicle code, you guys. Interesting how they came up with that decision. It's worth noting that footnote 7 highlights the following, you guys, that we are mindful of pending litigation where, one, the Senate has proposed an amendment to Section 11-502.15 of the Vehicle Code that would provide, in quotes, "the odor of burnt or raw cannabis in a motor vehicle by itself shall not constitute probable cause for the search of a motor vehicle or person." And from what I understand, that proposal was ultimately scrapped due to objections from law enforcement, a development that received little to no media coverage. Dissenting opinions on this, they say, makes no sense to treat raw cannabis as more probative when the odor of burnt cannabis may suggest recent use, whereas the odor of raw cannabis does not suggest consumption, end quote. The dissenting opinion, authored by Justice O'Brien and joined by Chief Justice Thies, argued that the odor of raw cannabis alone should not constitute probable cause for a warrantless vehicle search. They highlighted the inconsistency with the court's earlier ruling in People versus Redmond, where the odor of burnt cannabis alone was deemed insufficient for probable cause. The dissent compared raw cannabis to alcohol, noting that its odor does not reliably indicate criminal activity, and that warned that this ruling risked perpetuating the stigmatization of cannabis users despite legalization. They called for a consistent standard, emphasizing that the mere smell of raw cannabis carries a low degree of suspicion. And everyone wants to know, what does this actually mean? Well, here we go. We're going to summarize it all for you. For cannabis consumers in Illinois, the message is clear. Improperly storing cannabis in a vehicle can lead to serious legal consequences, and the odor-proof container law remains firmly in place. This topic is explored in depth in my mini documentary, now available to stream for free. And interestingly, law enforcement officers who work with canines have shared with me that in their experience, no container is truly odor proof. If such containers existed, canine units would lose their effectiveness and their purpose in law enforcement. And you can read the full opinion on our website. And Cole also says to stay tuned. I'll be releasing more coverage on this issue soon and discussing the implications of this ruling with legal professionals on an upcoming episode of the Cole Memo podcast, you guys. Well, don't get caught in Illinois with all that loud ass cannabis, because they don't like noise violations in Illinois. What do y'all have to say about this?
One quick comment around the horn. We got Dale.
Yeah. Well, never break more than one law at a time. That's my advice. And when in doubt, store it in the trunk. Then you got a real good argument. The analogies to an open container of alcohol in the front of the vehicle is still one the cops like to use. And No, I just don't trust a human nose from a cop telling me the difference between burnt cannabis and raw cannabis or the dogs that they use. This is nonsense. If you suspect someone's under the influence of something, do your proper due diligence, a field sobriety test, those kinds of things, and then if necessary, arrest them. I really don't like these unwarranted...
Well, hold on, Dale. DEI experts are trained to say that if you consume cannabis, your tongue is green.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The Pope's Presbyterian and the moon's made of green cheese. I don't give a fuck what these people say. I've never seen somebody that smoked a joint and stuck their tongue out and looked green. Now, if you're eating raw cannabis, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, if you have a sour green apple Charms blow pop,
I got a dip. Rapid fire. What you got on this one, Stone?
Oh man, does that mean that when you're getting pulled over that you can burn the cannabis and you'll be okay, or is it?
That's how it sounds to me.
Does that get you out of trouble?
That's how it sounds to me,
Go
Stone.
to the cop's nose. Let him smell it.
I mean, you just got to be like,
but there's burning.
you got to be like Toucan Sam and follow your nose.
Oh man, this is so. Yeah, all I gotta say is this
Yeah,
they're
Mr.
getting
Chicago.
primed and ready. They're getting primed and ready for the national police state, man. Police are going to have full immunity, as Trump promised, and he also said that he wants to have national stop and frisk too. So,
oh boy, here we go again with this one.
Just the beginning. He said that.
Here we go again with this one.
He said it, Rico, but he didn't mean it. That's not what he meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to understand how to speak Trump, bro. It's not my fault. You don't understand how to speak Trump.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Go ahead, quick one, Dale. You got?
No, it's like I don't know. I speak a couple languages. That one I'd struggle with.
I mean, Dale, you're still a Democrat. I mean, as soon as you're ready to come over here to the red side, we're here to welcome you, and I will teach you how to speak Trump.
Yeah. Go over there and support Donald Trump, and just anything he says, go. Just trust in God, Trump, God Jr. Antichrist, whatever y'all want to call him.
Craziness.
Get down and lay down.
Jesus, Donald, Jesus, Trump. Come on now.
Oh, you guys are cute.
Thank you all for joining us for yet another episode of High 90. You can catch us live weekdays 9 a.m. Pacific, high noon on the East Coast. Big shout out to the super fans showing love, getting their comments posted live on the big screen. We had Troy.
Yes, Troy Edwards, man. Big old super chat from Troy Edwards today. Thank you so much, Troy.
Big love, Troy.
Yes.
We have any others out there?
Just Troy Edwards today, my man.
We got some doubles and triples.
Oh, but
make sure you guys follow us on X as well. We need 500 over there.
Yeah, we need 500 verified blue check followers. But the poll is, the results are in with 62 votes. You guys, 76% says Elon Musk would put hands on Mark Zuckerberg, while 24% you guys live in denial.
Well, I wish I had a time machine right now. I just go back in time to about this time last year when Elon bowed out. Remember, it was Elon that backed out of the fight.
Well, that's because he didn't want to. He didn't want to hurt him because he's a little special. You know what I'm saying? Little Marky,
Mark Zuckerberg has like 3% body fat, baby.
That means nothing, bro. He get broke off. He get broke off by Elon.
Guy, we used to pull his underwear over his head when I was in high school.
See, that's exactly, Dale. Exactly.
Anyways, big love to the rest of our fantastic live audience and online supporters catching us live every single day, tuning in each day to the Headlines of Chaos, also known as the developing cannabis industry. Our vetted correspondent team tuning in from all over, bringing us much needed variety of perspective, your respected opinions to the table. Our production team, Cloud Media Partners, all the sponsors keeping the lights on, Millie and Adam behind the scenes, keeping our AV struggles to a minimum. Thank you guys as well. As always, Cannabis Sativa L, the reason why we show up to read these stories every day. Thank you too, baby girl. It has been Thursday, December 5th, 2024. Show's over. You all been blessed with the top industry headlines. Hope it's enough for you to put in your pipe and smoke at least until tomorrow. My name is Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High 9 News, America's #1 daily cannabis news show. We're gonna pop things right back out to the ATX. My man, Stone.
Since my baby left me. I'm just kidding. Kidding.
Stone, hit it, bro.
Texas, what are you doing? Get rid of Dan Patrick. Why are we re-electing people like this that do nothing for us? Fuck these people. Pro cannabis, baby. Weed for the people.
Weed for the people.
Tell Abbott to stand up for the people.
Stop, bro. That's rude. That's rude. Stop it. Stop being ridiculous.
He won't stand.